Our coverage of Democracy 2010 continues. We here at News Channel 5 are committed to bringing you the most complete election coverage. So we're introducing you to some of the candidates running for office.
We've asked you to provide the questions, and we've posed those exact questions to the candidates. News Channel 5's Sean Beluski profiles the Democratic candidate for U.S. House District 16.
In today's Ask the Candidate segment, we introduce you to Jim Horn. Horn currently works as a business consultant, but he's best known for founding American Bodybuilding Products, a company that pioneered many sports nutrition bars, drinks, and supplements. Horn lives in Palm City and is married with 5 children. He's proud of his family's rich military history, his father a paratrooper in World War II, and his grandfather a soldier in World War I. We sat him down to ask him questions that are important to you.
We have bridges that are failing. Clearly, we have canals and levee systems that are failing. Our roadways need repair. Our schools need repair. Can't we find a way to invest in Florida's future? Not just for today's jobs, but for tomorrow's children and tomorrow's grandchildren.
As far as building Florida's infrastructure and related to jobs, which you mentioned in that, Richard, they're all interrelated. If we bring more jobs to Florida, we have more tax money. We have more money for taxes to invest in the infrastructure. Now, infrastructure building is good for ourselves and our children, and I have 4 young children at home, so I want to build Florida's infrastructure, and that's one of the reasons that I ran. So we need to build the jobs which bring the tax money and hopefully elect the right people to invest that tax money properly so as to build a Florida that has a future for ourselves and our children.
Lori Spatz of Wellington emailed us this question. She asks, what are your plans to support the education system in our state, and what are your thoughts on the classroom size amendment issues?
Classroom size is fundamental to education. The interaction between the child and the teacher is at a much higher level the smaller the class size. So class size is fundamental. As far as me being a federal candidate goes, I want the federal government to help support the school system in the sense of the same way I want the federal government to support business, which is create a good environment, but I don't need them in Florida schools. We should decide what's best for our Florida schools with support from the federal government, but yet schools are a local issue. So I want schools to be run by the counties and the state with assistance from the federal government.
As a small business owner, I would like to know how the government's going to give more access to loans for small businesses.
Well, Mike, I ran a restaurant also. I had a restaurant for 4 years in Broward. And I understand the small businessman. My life has been small and medium business. And I understand what it means to need to get loans. What the federal government needs to do is to create policies that enhance the bank's ability to loan to small business, whether that has to do with the Small Business Administration's guaranteed loan program or opening up and creating different legislation for the banks to loan money to the small businessman. But small business is the engine that drives America, and you keep hearing that over and over from politicians. But right now, I am a small business consultant. I work with 5 or 6 small businesses, up to 20 depending on what my consulting business is doing. And every day I work with people who want to know how they can grow their business or how the federal government can help them. You don't want the federal government involved in your business. You want the federal government to create that environment, that atmosphere with the Small Business Administration to work with the state so that loans are available for the businesses at affordable rates. I think that's the best thing that we could do for small business in America.
Joe Cuellar from Port St. Lucie posted this question on our Facebook page. He asks, what incentives are being proposed for homeowners here in Port St. Lucie with the number of vacant homes and foreclosures still growing?
Well, Joe, right now the banks are going through something relative to foreclosures that I think is going to change the system that's recently in the news. And that is they haven't been going about foreclosures necessarily in an above-board fashion. And what I think can make a difference for you, for other homeowners, not just in Port St. Lucie, but throughout the United States, is for the government who has bailed out these banks to come in and make sure that at least it's an honest, above-board process for the homeowners and that they're treated fairly, and take into account that the loss of value of these homes has nothing to do, is not the responsibility of the homeowner, has nothing to do with any of his actions. And we need to take that into consideration when we are working with people who have lost their jobs in a tough economy, or their home values have dropped below their mortgage value. That's what we need to do as the federal government, and being a candidate for federal office, we could help Port St. Lucie that way, and help the state of Florida to help you in Port St. Lucie.
To hear what other candidates have said in our Ask the Candidates segments, and to find out more on some of the issues and races on the ballot, head to the Democracy 2010 page of WPTV.com. Covering Democracy 2010, I'm Sean Belusky, WPTV News Channel 5.